How to effortlessly turn your passion for art into a profit. And I can tell you, you've been brainwashed. Like society literally tried so hard and they did such a good job to make us believe that it's not really possible to make a living from art, right? That this is so much harder, unrealistic. And I think most of us, we did something differently, right? We didn't really pursue art. I know many, many artists, they are 40, 50, 60, and they're just considering now to do something with their art. And they spent their whole life doing something completely different. There was not even their own, right? Just something that was realistic, that was paying the bills. And if you think of that's just completely sad. It's really sad. And I wish that we would live in a society where creativity and art would be more supported, because I can tell you from my experience, you can make a living from art, right? When I broke through all these limiting beliefs and I literally built my own belief system around what it takes to be a successful artist, what it actually means, who I am as a successful artist, how I can live my life selling art. I changed my whole belief system. Right? When I was thinking about making a living with my art, I saw a possibility. I saw it as an easy way to do it. I was like, I'm going to print money because I can produce so many artworks. I love doing it. So I will never have less energy to create. I mean, of course, sometimes I don't want to create, but you get the point. It's like I have this limitless creativity. I can just keep creating. I never get bored of it. And this energy was for me the key to money and success, because I'm like, if I can create so many artworks and I never get bored of it, and I feel like I have this limitless creativity, I mean, how can I make money with this? It doesn't make any sense. There's so many things in my life. It's, when I spend time on it or I go to a job, I feel exhausted and I cannot even imagine myself doing it for long, right? But then I need to do that thing that exhausts me to make a living. Doesn't really make sense to me. And I don't just want to make a living. I want to thrive, right? And I think many of you are the same. We don't just want to survive and make a living and pay our bills and live this boring, unsatisfying life. We want to thrive, because I mean, if you think of as an artist, if you're thriving, if you went above the level of survival, that's when your creativity gets to the next level, right? It's like you are more inspired, you're more creative, and you suddenly have ideas that you never thought you could do. But when you're out of the survival and in the thriving mode, you believe in yourself more, right? You actually believe that it's possible to realize these ideas that you have. But you cannot do this if you're in survival, right? If you're in survival, you just have to do what you have to do to pay your bills, right? And take care of your family or take care of yourself. And this video, I really, really want you to reconsider your own beliefs around what it takes to be a successful artist. And just maybe, cut a piece from me, like take inspiration from me of how I did it, how I literally like turned this whole thing around and made it easy and effortless, right? Because I also didn't want to believe it should be hard. I mean, as it is, success and achieving things, it does take work. But I didn't want to believe it's actually hard work. I wanted to believe it's easy. And when I started really believing that, and I, painted it in my mind, I went deep into thinking about it. And I give you an example. It's like, if I can paint a painting, like just create something that's easy for me, that's natural to me, and then exchange it to money, that feels like I'm printing money, literally, right? If I can sell this piece for 5,000, this is like crazy. It's like I'm printing money. Like, tell me, where else can you do that? Where else can you do something with your talent, with your gift, something that you like to do? And then, and also buy the material. I mean, the materials, this is a bigger painting, but it's not so much color. So maybe the materials cost me all in all, I don't know, like 60 euros. Maybe it took me an hour to create, or maybe a little bit more, it depends. But, turning this into 5,000 into money is just like, where else can you do that? And I know some of you take longer to paint. It doesn't just take you 1-2 hours. But if you think of like many, many successful artists, and let's take Damien Hirst. Damien Hirst is at the stage where he can do whatever he wants. He can paint dots. He can spin paintings around, which is a quick process, doesn't take much time. and he can sell them for so much money. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like anywhere from a few 100,000 to like millions. So he can splash color on a canvas and then become rich. I mean, of course, this is like quite far away from most of our realities, but that's what inspired me. I'm like, I want to be like this. I just want to create whatever I want and turn it into money. And that's what I did on my level, right? I sold my art for multiple thousands and even 24,000 for a single painting. And it didn't happen by accident. I literally created this new belief system of what I believe is possible, how easy it is to sell art. And I just got excited. I was visualizing every single day, seeing the money raining down, seeing the people saying yes to the painting when I said, like, the investment for this piece is 5,000. I saw these people just saying, yes, I'll take it. And I kept visualizing that. I kept imagining how amazing, how effortless, how easy it would be to sell my art for the prices I wanted to, right? And it literally happened. And again, this is not luck or accident. I mean, it feels like luck. That's a funny thing, but I prepared myself internally. I visualized so many times that I already expected it. Like when it happened, I was like, whoa, it's happening. But at the same time, I expected it because I created it in my mind first, right? So, yes, it's very sad that people brainwashed us, because the hardest part in making it as an artist is to like forget about these things that people told us, like to kind of almost like an onion, shed the skin and come to the core, right? But it depends, like depending on what you did. It's like if you went to art school, it's probably even harder. I never went to art school, luckily. But it depends how many limiting beliefs you have. And I'm actually very grateful that I didn't went to art school, because I mean, I probably would have learned cool stuff and good things, but maybe also some harmful things, right? And I think almost because I was actually naive when it comes to the art world. I never looked into the art world. I didn't try to fit in. I didn't try to understand it. All I wanted to do is realize my dream, do what I love and make money from it. I make a good living from it. That's all. That's it. That's what I was looking for in my life. I was looking for my purpose. I did multiple things. I could never see myself being in a job. I mean, I've been in a job, but it was horrible. I felt like a part of me was dying. And I just knew I cannot do this for long. So the search of finding my purpose came quite fast. And for whatever reason, I understood that I cannot just find something to make money from, right? Just, like, because there are like opportunities in life, of course, where you can make a good living, you can make a lot of money. Maybe it's even a business you're starting, but you do it because of the money, because it's a big opportunity. And for whatever reason, I kind of understood that I cannot do this. I cannot work for the money. I cannot be a slave, because like I'm a slave now to the system, right? And then if I do something just to make a good living from, or like to make lots of money, I mean, of course it's great, but then I would be a slave to money, right? Then my life would, again, it would be another trap, right? And I knew I didn't want it. I knew I wanted to do something that's mine, right? That deeply fulfills me, even before the money comes. And by the way, that's how it was. Like for many years, I mean, I started, I think, in 2017, yeah. So 3 years later, I was making a living, which is actually pretty fast. But for these 3 years, I was struggling. In 2019, I sold 15,000 in art within like 6 months. But only 6 months I focused on selling art. The other 6 months, not. So if it depends how you see it. It could be, wow, that went really fast. But for me, it felt really long, because I was in a job and it was quite hard, and I really wanted to make a living, right? I really wanted to figure this out. But yeah, all these other years, it was very difficult. And no matter what I tried, nothing seemed to work, right? And then on one point in 2020, I started figuring this stuff out. But I can really tell you, I needed to work on my mindset. That was 90% of the work. And I don't know if you want to believe that, but it's true. It's like, first, I needed to change my belief system, which is actually easier than you think, right? So how can you change your belief system? You write down all the negative beliefs that you currently have around being a successful artist. And that means like literally anything. I mean, you need to be brutally honest. This only works if you're honest. If you're not honest with yourself, you're not ready yet, right? Because the thing is, the more these negative beliefs are in the unconscious mind, like the less you're aware of it, the more they have control over your life and your art career, right? But the more awareness you put on them, the less power they have. And then you can choose to change them. You can just like look at them and decide, do I want to believe this is true? Like, do I want to live my life with this belief? And if it's no, just cross it off and go on with the other beliefs. And then ask yourself, like, what do I actually want to believe, right? And there will be some beliefs that are hard for you to believe, and that's okay, right? You don't need to go from like all these negative beliefs to believing you're going to be a millionaire. That's not what I'm saying, but like just change the direction. Start with things that you can believe right now, or where you don't have too much disbelief, right? As I said, if I'm going to be a millionaire artist, and if this just triggers too much disbelief, it's not actually serving you. You want to start with beliefs that you can believe, right? And you can ask yourself questions like, what if it would be easy? What if Oliver is right? What if it is effortless, right? You can start asking your just what if questions in a positive way, because they will already change the direction of your mind. And it's like planting seeds within your own mind, right? And then you just need to trust the process. But back to the purpose, I understood that if you're looking for something that you really love doing, something that goes beyond just the money, you're gonna stick with it long term. And you need to be able to stick with something in order to make money. Money doesn't come just from the very beginning, right? You just decide I'm going to do this and then you make money. Sometimes it does, right? If you already if you have some training, if you had, I don't know, like a job in a marketing company where you learned about these things, then, it might go faster. But my point is, if you choose something where you really feel like you're purposeful, you do this beyond the money, that's when you stick with it and you're going to figure it out. I promise you. I mean, that you're already here on this video, watching this video. It means you are already looking for answers. And if you look, you will find answers, 100% guaranteed. By the way, just as a little side note, for November, you're going to see this video today when I record it actually, so the 9th November. So till November, so December not anymore, we have a 7-day free trial for our community, so you can check it out without any risk. You can cancel if you don't like it. But yeah, we just started opening this up for November, because in October, we forgot, but we had our 1-year anniversary with our artist mastermind. And yeah, in the mastermind, you learn everything you need to know to sell your art and really get to the next level. So if you want to check it out for free, only for November. After that, not anymore. You can do that now with the link in the description. Let's get back to the video. So yeah, in the end of the day, I was kind of pissed, and I'm still to a certain degree pissed that society brainwashed us like that. Even I'm considered to have ADHD, right? Which is like a mental illness, and we should get take pills and blah blah blah. I never got pills for this actually, because my mom was really against it, which is great. I don't know where I would be if I would have taken these pills, because you actually reject a part of you, who you are, right? And you take these pills instead of looking for natural ways which are sustainable. It's almost like, okay, I might have a different brain, but this brain also has other positive sides that society doesn't actually see valuable, right? And I think the creativity, the strong creativity and the strong drive I have, and sometimes the speed that I have is coming because I have a different brain, right? And not everyone has that, and that's okay, right? Maybe other people that don't have this brain, they are better suited for simple tasks, or just doing what they've been told. Isn't this funny, right? Society literally trains us to do what we've been told, and they are not interested in art because it's not really benefiting them as much, right? But being in a job, that helps build someone, their dream, their company. And I don't want to go too deep into this, but if you think of this a group of people that control society, they own all the big companies, the food, the things that we actually need, the internet companies, all these things, and we most people work for them, pharma industry, right? They work for these kind of companies, and that's what society trains you for. I had no space on my phone anymore. So anyways, let's finish this up. Check out the other videos on my YouTube channel. I'm teaching so much on how to actually make a living from your art, like what strategy I use. So check that out. If you want my personal help, come into the community. You have the 7-day free trial only in November. So I hope to see you inside of that. And let's just make a decision. Let's just make a decision that we're gonna take our success in our own hands and not believe what society brainwashed us for, and become who we really meant to be. Because if I did it, you can do it too, because I came from a very tough childhood. I didn't have it easy. Nothing was given to me. I can guarantee you that. Nothing, not even, I didn't get any money for this. Nothing. I did it all myself because I changed my belief system, and then I took massive action, right? And I know for a fact that if I did it, you can do it too. There are so many talented artists that are way more talented than me, but I was the one that made a lot of money. So just think about that. Like, why is that, right? And why not you? Really ask yourself this, because I believe in you 100%. So let's do it. Peace.